One lap left.
Okay, we're good.
All right.
We're good?
Yeah. All right. Phil, don't distract me. Give your good looks. Dylan, keep quiet. And keep your good looks to yourselves. All right.
Alright, ready?
Ready.
Alright, this is weird. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into F1 Podcast. This is the momentous 100th episode, Max. And we're here at Slot City.
Slot City.
Slot Shop.
You were about to say
No,
slot shop or slut shop, weren't you? All right, let's start again. It's a slot shop, right?
Slot Shop.
Slot shop.
At
And
Sydenham.
slotshop.com.
Yep.
Not .net.
.net.
Oh, yeah, and never before filmed before a live studio.
Oh yeah, we'll be getting to that. Don't you worry about that.
Right.
Yeah.
We're a step ahead of you. Woo, yeah.
Alright.
Sorry, take two.
Slotshop.net. All right. By the way, this is common. Screwing up the starts and all that.
What he's saying is I screw up the starts a lot.
Basically, yes. I didn't want to say that though. All right, let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to F1 Podcast. This is episode 100, Max. We've made it.
Sure have.
And we're here at the Slot Shop in Sydenham, Sydney. And we've been playing some slots with the boys, mate.
We have, and it's been a great morning, a great day, and we've met some lovely people today who've looked after us. Notably, our good friends Dillion and Phil in front of us, and the cheeky Johnny over there, and Chi, who we met a moment ago. So thank you very much, guys, for making us all very welcome today. And Pep, I guess it's also a momentous occasion because it's the first time we're filming in front of a live studio
audience. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but anyway, here we are.
It's all good.
They're keeping quiet for us, thanks guys. All right, Max, let's talk a little bit about F1 now. We've had 6 days of testing at Algarve in Portugal. We've had 5 days at Valencia, 4 days at Mugello, so there's been heaps of testing.
Yep.
And really, what's been coming out of all of that, I reckon, besides just shaking down the cars, mate, is that Alonso's not real happy at the moment with his new Renault, that fat-fronted Renault.
Mate, Alonso's not happy, and nor is Pat Simons. And the thing that concerns me as well is at this later stage, when the season's just about to start, for Renault to basically turn around and say, "Oops, we've missed something."
Yeah.
And then for Pat Simon to turn around and say, "Oh well, the last 3 tests of the season are usually the ones that really count." Doesn't bode well for me. I'm starting to think the R27 still born and was a horror car. The R28 wasn't that much better, despite Alonso claiming a couple of victories in it. It doesn't bode well for me to see Simons in particular turning around at this late stage and saying that there's some more work to do.
But I thought it was interesting because most of the guys keep their cards pretty close to their test. You know, they don't really make too many comments, and Renault's basically come out already and said this car's a bit of a pig and we need to work on it. So, you know, I was surprised to hear that, I've got to say.
Well, I think, as we all know, you can't really take much out of testing. I mean, testing is testing, and it's to iron these bugs out and the like, and there's no doubt about that. But pound for pound lap times that Renault was doing were just not comparable to any other team. So I hope they get it right. I hope it's there's a few things that they can do in that car before it's fired up in Melbourne, mate. But a little bit concerned about Team Reggie.
Yeah. And the other news this week, we talked about in the last podcast about these Ferrari exhausts. We got lots of comments from you guys about the Ferrari exhaust, and we talked about it in the last episode. And now they've basically modified their exhaust so that the exhaust doesn't extend above the bodywork. And it's like we said in the last episode, mate, we always knew that this wasn't happening, that they weren't going to be releasing something that wasn't legal.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, in Ferrari's defence, they did design the exhausts based on the early 2009 regulations, which have subsequently been amended.
Yeah.
And Ferrari have followed suit, and they've accepted the decision, and they've amended their exhaust pipes. But as you said in the last episode, they were never going to go to Albert Park in a legal car because there'd be no point, because if they won the race, they'd be instantly disqualified.
Yeah. And another thing that we haven't really mentioned is the wheel covers. The McLaren and Ferrari, a lot of them are running the wheel covers now. And we've been talking to the boys here as well about the wheel covers, and I don't know too many people who like them, mate. I think that for the few tenths that they give, it's just not worth it, and I'd like to see those banned, honestly, mate.
I don't like them at all. I think aesthetically, we've got, let's be honest, the cars this year under the new 09 regulations aren't exactly masterpieces in the looks department. And then to add to that with these stupid wheel covers, I just think it detracts from the look of these cars when they're already borderline, some people might argue, relatively ugly.
Yeah, and another thing we haven't talked about, Max, is the adjustable front wings. New regulation for this year. The jury's out for me, mate. I'm not sure about this. In F1 they've been able to adjust things on the car for many, many years. We've been able to do this and do that, and I suppose it continues the theme. But I'm not sure whether it's going to produce, along with Kurz, I guess, competitive wheel-to-wheel racing. I doubt it, actually.
It'll be fascinated to to see how they go with these adjustable front wings. When you think about it, the driver's got about 60 dials on his steering wheel as it is, and you can adjust this and all that while you're doing 200 mile an hour. And then to turn around and potentially have a push to pass button with GERS and to adjust your front wing. When are these guys going to get the time to do it? I mean, it's split-second stuff, but we'll wait and see. Some will make more of a fist of it than others, I guess, but to me it's another distraction that we don't need.
Max, if your last name was Mosley and you had the decision, would you bar them?
I just didn't think they needed to be introduced. Look, I still think that the front wings will have to narrow as the season progresses once there's so much carbon fibre and Kevlar strewn over the tracks. That's the first thing I want to see reduced or changed, I guess. And of course, you know my thoughts on the rear wing, but having that flap at the front that the driver can manipulate, jury's out for me. I guess I'll make a judgment when I see it actually.
Max, this week you and I had a quiet beer and we were talking about this exact same subject. And
Ben and I often talk front wings and flaps and all that sort of thing.
We were talking about it, mate, and that's the point, honestly. I really don't. I don't see why they're doing it. And I'd like them, mid-season when they realise that the overtaking isn't coming and the racing isn't improving, to actually do things like you said and change the wings or make additional changes, because I can't see these changes actually working at this stage, mate.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have a couple of months and then we can make an assessment or judgment based on the results.
But will they have the balls to change it again?
Well,
will they look at it and say, we failed, we're going to change it again?
Mostly seems to wake up every morning with a new bloody rule change. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but I'd like to think that they would look at the data, and if overtaking just simply hasn't worked, then hopefully they would change things. But the other thing as well, the second you change something on a Formula 1 car or you change regulations, the cost in R&D alone is astronomical. Yeah. I mean, here we are talking about cost cutting, and yet we're talking about the development of KERS. Now, KERS doesn't come cheap. So it's the age-old argument. As soon as you touch one thing in Formula 1, you're touching 10 other things.
Well, Max, we've got 2 car launches to come. We've got the 2 Red Bull cars, those 4 cars, but then perhaps the Force India. And there's a bit of Force India news this week. Mike Gascoyne is pissed, mate. He's not happy. He's going to court. He wants his money. And, I haven't perused the contract, Max. I don't know what's going on really with that. But
I, on the other hand, have looked over it with a fine-tooth comb. He had a run on his contract, but the simple fact is that Maglia has switched from Ferrari power plants to McLaren power plants. Needed the extra cash and thought, Gascoyne, you're too expensive, so I'm cutting it. Which is disappointing. Another court case, which is disappointing. Our sport doesn't need that for a start. But the other thing as well, if I was Maglia, one of the key people that I would be keeping is Mike Gascoyne, because he is a brilliant engineer. A very difficult person to work with, from what I understand, but nonetheless, a tactical genius. I mean, you don't get to where Mike Gascoyne's been by being a klutz. And I can't help but feel, in a team, in a country, to lose a key personnel like Mike Gascoyne, I think it's a bit of an error.
All right, mate. Well, the last thing we'll quickly talk about is Honda. I think that Jensen's probably still waiting for that phone call, and Nick Fry is still confident, I've got to say, which they were talking about the deadlines last week and things like that, and I actually agree with a lot of the banter on the internet that things are actually getting quite critical now. You've got to put a new engine in this car, you've got to adjust the chassis to fit that engine, and mate, time's running out, and my confidence in someone buying Honda is just getting less and less as the days go on.
Mate, in my opinion, Honda's goose is cooked. No one will buy it before Melbourne. They won't field a team at Melbourne. They may come in later in the year under a new buyer, or they might miss the whole 09 season proper. To me, it's too late now for anyone to mount a serious challenge to buy Honda and to put 2 Formula 1 cars on the grid in Melbourne. To me, it's a done deal. There's just simply not enough time.
All right, guys, well, let us know what you think. That's all we've got for this episode. So, again, we want to say thanks very much to the guys here for providing the facilities. And they're great guys as well, so we'll put a link in our video description so you can come visit them.
Yep.
And we'll see you soon for the next one.
All right, guys. See you.
Bye-bye. That's it.
You're good.
Nothing easy.
Easy, baby.
We are at F1 Podcast. We've got Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna with us today. Hello, boys. Both looking very cool.